Hi, hello, welcome to Victor Groth's classes. So, today you are seeing the NDA Mathematics class of Victor Groth Academy. So, we know that maths is an important subject for NDA. So, there are certain topics which are very important in the NDA exam. So, we need to study like we are preparing for a competitive exam. So, there are basic things that are asked in all years, like for the complex numbers there are cube root of unity, such kind of questions are asked every year. So other than NCERT textbooks, we need to prepare mainly, we need to focus on the competitive type of questions. So after seeing some 2-3 NDA mathematics question paper, you will be knowing which all areas are repeatedly asked in the exam, like that means. Okay, so today I am going to take the classes on complex numbers. So this is a topic that comes in the 11th standard NCERT textbook. So basically this is a small chapter in the NCERT textbook, but there are a few other points additionally we need to know in the competitive exams. Okay, so complex numbers. So we'll first write the general form of a complex number. What is a complex number? Complex number. So complex number is a number that has both real and imaginary part. Complex, the word complex itself shows that it will be having several parts. So there are basically two parts in a complex number, which is a real part and imaginary part. The complex number is generally written in the form z is equal to x plus I y. This is the general form of a complex number. Z is equal to x plus I y. What is x? X is the real part and y is the imaginary part. So I'll show an example for a complex number. Z is equal to 2 plus I 3 or 2 plus 3i. Both are same only. We can write in any way. So generally we will write like Z is equal to 2 plus 3i. So this is a complex number where real part is 2 and imaginary part is 3. These all things you might have studied in 11th standard, but I am just revising that for doing the problems. Okay, so 2 plus 3i is a complex number. Now what we need to know is there are few things which are asked in the question. Basic questions can be asked based on that, like what is modulus of a complex number? Modulus of a complex number is denoted as z and the symbol modulus. We know that symbol of modulus is this one. So what is modulus of this complex number? So modulus of a complex number is root of x square plus y square. That is nothing but, for this example, it is root of 2 square, that is 4, plus 3 square 9, that is root 13. Sorry, 3 square, so root 13. Okay, so this is complex number 2 plus 3i and its modulus is written as root of x square plus y square, that is here 4 plus 9, that is root 13. So this is modulus. Now you might have heard about the term conjugate of a complex number. Conjugate is denoted by letter z bar. Conjugate of a complex number is z bar and it is written as 2, for this case 2 minus 3i, or generally it can be written as x minus yi or iy. So conjugate of a complex number is written as x minus iy. Okay, so this is conjugate. Then another thing, argument. What is argument of a complex number? That I will be mentioning after teaching polar form. So general form of a complex number is x plus iy. Then it will have a polar form. Polar form is the other way of writing complex number. Polar form, that is written as z is equal to r cos theta plus I r sin theta. R cos theta plus I r sin theta. This is known as polar form of a complex number. So r is nothing but modulus. R is equal to root of x square plus y square and theta is known as argument. Argument of z. Argument of a complex number z means theta, that is this angle theta. And what is this r? R is root of x square plus y square. So if we get a complex number in any form, that is 3 plus 4i, what we can do? We can write it in which form? Polar form also. Okay, so for that we need to find r is root of 3 square plus 4 square here. Then we can find the theta also. Now what is the formula of theta? Theta is tan inverse y by x. Tan inverse imaginary part divided by real part. For this case it is tan inverse 4 by 3. So that is the argument. Now next is exponential form. Exponential form of a complex number. What is exponential form? Exponential form is e raised to I theta. If r is having some value, we will write like r e raised to I theta. So this is the exponential form of a complex number. R e raised to I theta is the exponential form of a complex number. Then r cos theta plus ir sin theta is the polar form of a complex number. Then general form is given by z is equal to rx plus iy. So if we know these three kinds of equation, we will be able to solve some basic questions asked on complex number. There are some basic questions that is generally asked in the this complex number that can be asked if we know general form, polar form, and then its exponential form. So for the exam purpose, just by heart this, like we will not be able to solve for small things in the exam because we are not having that much time, no. So just by heart this thing, that is I, if we write a complex number, this is also a complex number, no, 0 plus I. So we are not writing this real part because there is no real part. So I is equal to, just remember, it is e raised to I pi by 2. Just remember this thing, that is I is equal to e raised to I pi by 2. That means if you are having a complex number I, then its exponential form is e raised to I pi by 2. Okay. So now we will solve some problems based on these equations. So first question, find the imaginary part of 3 plus I the whole square by 7 minus I. 3 plus I the whole square by 7 minus I. Find the imaginary part. So generally for a complex number, they will just write real part as real of z or imaginary part as imaginary of z. This means that we need to find the real part of z and imaginary part of z. Okay. So find the imaginary part of this question. This is a complex number, but see that this is not in the general form. General form is x plus iy. So this is not in the general form. So what we need to do is, we need to first make it into the general form. So how can we make that? Just I am writing the question again. For every question which is not in the correct form, we need to multiply this with a conjugate. What is the conjugate of the denominator? 7 minus I means conjugate becomes 7 plus I. I am multiplying both numerator and denominator with 7 plus I. Then what will happen? Opening the bracket, or this is a plus b the whole square, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square, that is 9 plus 6i plus I square. Here we will have 7 plus I. Here 7 plus I into 7 minus I, that is a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square, that is 7 square minus I square. So 9 plus 6i, what is I square? I is root of minus 1. I is root of minus 1, so I square is minus 1. So minus 1, then 7 plus I divided by 49 minus I square. Okay, remaining I am writing here. So 9 minus 1 will become 8. 8 plus 6i. 8 plus 6i into 7 plus I divided by, this is 49 minus I square, means I square is minus 1. Minus 1 will become positive 1. So opening the bracket, 56 plus 42i plus 8i plus 6i square divided by 50. Okay, this will become 56 plus 50i plus 6 into minus 1 divided by 50. This we can write like 56 minus 6 will become 50. 50 plus 50i divided by 50. We will cancel all this 50 and we will get 1 plus I as the complex number. Okay, so complex number here we are getting is 1 plus I. 1 plus I is the resultant complex number for this particular question. So now what is the imaginary part of this 1 plus I? That is nothing but this I. I is the imaginary part. Now going through the options. What are the options given in the question? 2 by 3i, 8 by 7i, simply I minus 4 by 7i. So option C is the correct answer. That is imaginary part of 1 plus I is I. Okay. So this is the basic questions that can be asked in an NDA Maths question paper. Now moving to the next question. Please note down the second question, that is, what is the square root of I? What is the square root of I? What is the square root of I? Note down the second question, square root of I. They are asking to find square root of I. This is a basic question, and but sometimes we may feel how can we solve, nothing is given. So how can we find the square root of a complex number? Square root of a complex number, we need not find by heart any formulas. We can just solve. It will take some seconds only. We can just solve. That is I. I have already mentioned like what is I? I is e raised to I pi by 2. So I told you to by heart this thing now. I is equal to e raised to I pi by 2. So we need not go for how to find out this, what is the equivalent exponential form of this I and all. Just by heart I is equal to e raised to pi by 2, and they are asking us to find root of this I, that is root of e raised to I pi by 2. Root of e raised to I pi by 2, that is e raised to I pi by 2 the whole raised to 1 by 2. Is that okay? Then that is e raised to I pi by 4. Okay, so this is the exponential form. Shall we write this in the polar form? It will become like cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4. That is, what is cos pi by 4? It is 1 by root 2. I, what is sin pi by 4? It is also 1 by root 2. So this will become 1 plus I by root 2. So this is the square root of my I. Okay. So we can also just by heart just think like we can do it in seconds in our mind, like this is e raised to I pi by 2, then square root means it will become e raised to I pi by 4, then it can be written as cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4, that is 1 by root 2 plus I 1 by root 2, that is 1 plus I by root 2. This is the square root of I. That's it. So this is how we solve this kind of questions. Okay. Are you clear? So just by heart this thing, I is equal to e raised to pi by 2. Okay. Thank you. These are the most simple questions that can be asked in an NDA exam. We'll be doing the remaining moderate level of questions in the next class. Stay tuned.